Hello, everybody. Welcome to Sculpture Lab, the podcast that talk about cultural experience. And this is our YouTube channel today. We have our guest, Mr. Abraham Herrera. Hello, Abraham. Welcome to Sculpture Lab today.
Thanks for having me, bro.
How you doing, man?
Excellent.
Hey, man. We are here to learn a little bit about you, but also about your background and about your culture. Where are you from, Abraham?
Originally from Honduras.
Honduras.
That's right.
How would you help us locate Honduras on the map?
Oh, the map. You got a map right here, don't you?
Like
bro?
you would do it? Well, have one. Go ahead.
Okay. Well, Honduras is a very tiny country in the Caribbean, and on one side, and on the other side, we have the Pacific.
Okay.
Here we go. Honduras.
Honduras. Okay. So this is Honduras.
The land of oceans and waves.
Oceans away.
Yeah.
Okay. Abraham, could you tell us a little bit, like, how did you get to arrive here in the United States? How did you come here?
Well, originally my folks came here first, and my dad came here first. He spent about a year here, and then my mother came a year later, and then we came. So there was a period of time where I didn't see my father for about 2 years. I kind of remember during that time, I kind of forgot his face a little bit because
Your father's face?
Yeah, a little bit because I was little. So I came to this country when I was really little. I want to say 5, something like that. 1995.
Is there any specific occasion or incident that makes you guys come here to the United States?
Well, they call it the land of opportunity, and that's exactly what we found.
Okay.
So my father came to work. My mother followed soon after, and just tried to make a better life for yourself, and that's certainly something that we found.
I think that's pretty common for most of the case.
Yeah.
We can all agree that most people leave the country to come to the United States to find a better living opportunities.
Yeah, most definitely.
But I'm pretty sure coming from Honduras, which is a total different culture, because this is a country, if I'm correct, that was colonized by the Spaniard.
Yeah.
So there is a influence of the Spaniard culture.
Right.
But also these are people that are mixed, and we're gonna get to that part later, with different other racial groups. So what was it like, the transition of coming from Honduras and living in America with the different languages and just different atmosphere?
Well, it's certainly very shocking. Going from not speaking English at all and coming here. The culture shock was certainly pretty heavy. But being that young, adjusting myself to the way the U.S. was pretty easy. I would say a little rough at first, just because I didn't understand a new world really. Initially, I didn't get it. It was strange. It was bizarre. Different faces that I wasn't accustomed to. That's it basically.
That's pretty cool. I can definitely remember my first days in America.
Oh yeah, I imagine so. Yeah.
Even though I was lucky to study a little bit of English before I came here, but I was thrown off when I first got here.
Yeah, I most definitely remember, starting school and feeling so weird and people talking to me, and I couldn't understand what they were saying. And then just being there like this, with big eyes and just looking around and trying to find somebody to save me.
Literally, your eyes were your way of expressing yourself.
Yeah, it wasn't just, hey, how you doing?
I
No sé por qué. okay, you know.
I can definitely imagine the intensity of being a child. Of course, you
Yeah.
don't have no social skills,
Yeah.
so and you don't speak the language to be able to connect with people. You can feel a little bit out of place.
Hmm.
But when we go back to your culture, like you spend much of your life here in America.
Yeah.
But uh, I invite you to this stage because I know of you, of someone that takes really uh, good pride of your culture and your origins. So, what could you share with me about your country, culture-wise? Because this platform is about cultural experience, and we want to learn about people's culture.
Okay. Well, culturally, you know, I have a mixed culture of, you know, Honduras and American. Definitely very Americanized, but you know, haven't lost the music, of course. The music,
Definitely.
the food. You know, punta is a big thing in Honduras. You know, also
Punta?
punta, merengue, bachata,
Mm-hmm.
um, that popular stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Certainly the food, Honduras food, and you know the best cheese for making your baleadas and the best cream is Honduran, baby. Crema azula and just any kind of stinky cheese from hard cheese from Honduras.
Now, be careful because there will
No,
be
no,
a lot
no.
of people watching.
I don't get it.
And there may be some people from Salvador,
No, bro.
Los Guanacos,
Guanacos.
Los Venados.
No,
They're gonna come at you, man.
no,
So
bro.
be careful.
I don't know. It might be my bias, but that's what I believe. I don't know, man. Just the smell of that stinky cheese, it just does something to me. You know what I mean? And it's absolutely and also coffee. The best coffee in the world is from Honduras.
No, I may
No.
take you on that one.
I don't know that.
They have some good coffee, but like I
Okay.
know, like
Café Indio.
I'm from West Africa, and I know
Yeah.
the Kenyan coffee and the Ethiopian are definitely very tasteful. So
Okay.
it may be depending on who's
Well,
drinking the coffee.
we're gonna have to put that to test on another episode.
I'm open for
And
that.
also the cheese
I'm open for that.
and the cream.
Wow, we got a lot of testing coming, huh?
Yeah. Absolutely.
So when we talk about like your racial belonging and like how you are
Yeah,
identified.
that's a weird one.
Okay.
It's certainly a weird one because so my father is Spaniard
Okay.
and
So your last name? I'm sorry for that.
Herrera.
Herrera.
Yeah,
Okay.
Herrera.
Herrera, okay.
Which just means smith, ironsmith
Yes.
in Spanish.
Mm-hmm.
So Iron Man, that's who I am. I
Okay.
might be the next Tony Stark, bro.
All right.
Yeah,
Tony Stark.
yeah,
Okay.
Yeah. Abraham Stark.
Okay. That's a good combination,
Yeah,
actually.
but Abraham Herrera.
Mm-hmm.
So his family, his grandmother was actually born in Spain,
Mm-hmm.
and she moved here. I don't know when,
Mhm.
a million years ago probably.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he's Spaniard, and his mother was Indian, but he definitely looks more Spaniard. You know, my mother's mixed race, so she's got Indian and black, and I guess Spaniard as well. It's kind of hard to see it on me, right?
That there is what we call the Garifunas, which is they call them the indigenous, African indigenous, or the Caribs. So can you tell us a little bit more, or like, is that where your West African descendants tied up to?
Most likely. So you know, with Honduras, the Garifunas are they're mixed people of, you know, the Native Americans and the black slaves, which were brought to the Caribbean, and they mixed that their culture together and became one.
Because I was doing some readings about it, and I happened to learn that it was actually, according to some sources, it was a wreck of a ship of slave, and when they evade, they get to leave with Indians, the natives, and they kind of built up that culture.
Mhm.
And apparently there was a very strong kingdom,
Yeah.
and they fought like the Europeans until they get defeated, and that's when they get shipped from like the Saint Vincent Island, and they were shipped to the
Roatan, yeah.
Roatan. Yeah, so yeah, but yeah, share more with us about it.
As far as history, I'm not too detailed about the history, but certainly the Garifunas have it's a big certainly a big part of Honduras, and very famously known about Honduras. And of course, they have their own Garifuna language besides speaking Spanish or Honduran Spanish.
So if I understand a bit with the other social groups that are over there, they are the one that conserve their language and not speaking Spanish on
Oh
a
yeah,
daily basis.
most definitely.
Okay.
Yeah, it's a big thing there.
And what else? Like their way of living, their music, their culture,
Oh,
their religions.
the most famous thing that they're known for is certainly punta.
Okay, this is the rhythm.
Punta.
We have a drummer here.
The punta, which every Honduran is part of. Everybody from Honduras listens to punta for the most part, and that's one of the things that Honduras is known for.
Okay.
Their punta, most definitely.
And if I can look well, I believe that's the images that I'm looking at here. Because if you type in Garifuna on Google, those are the first things that you see. It's funny how you can be identified with your rhythm, but also with your music. But
You certainly know that in Africa that's a big thing. Music and rhythm and drums.
Of course,
Yeah.
because music.
It's kind of similar to taranga, I think, a little bit. You can notice the differences, especially in the way of dancing.
The way of dancing.
Yeah.
Of course, and like music and just culture as well. Like the music, the rhythms, the dance is always a way of expressing history, but also expressing emotions and just paying tribute to the ancestors. And it's a very important part in every culture because any specific rhythm can send you to a specific culture if you know a little bit about music and cultures.
Music is definitely healing to the soul. Bob Marley said it. Hit me with music.
With music.
Brutalize me.
Abraham, you got quite a skills, man. I'm impressed.
A little bit.
So, but like gathering those components of races, gathering those components of races and living here in America, how do you identify yourself?
It's difficult, bro, because I'm certainly very much Americanized, and going back to Honduras, I would stick out like a sore thumb. Because my accent isn't. I don't have a Honduran accent. I have a North American accent when I speak Spanish, and I really, it is a different world for me. Going back, because I've been here for so long that of course, I have deep roots in it, so I wouldn't be completely lost, but it would probably take some adjustment.
I can definitely see that because even us, like I've been here for 10 years, but every time that I go back home to Africa, of course there will be a little bit of adjustment because there's a lot of habits that have been built over the time, and you cannot just change it because you are exposed to a new place.
So,
I would not say a new place, but a place that you haven't been for a while.
So I'm certainly more American than I am Honduran as far as culturally, I guess I could say.
And you currently live in Durham, in North Carolina.
Right.
So, and this is a part of United States that is dominant of black people. So you have grown up, I'm sure, with a lot of black friends. By the way, we all know that everybody that knows me and knows you know the brotherhood that have happened between me and you, and it's nothing but authentic.
We've known each other 10 years, bro.
It's been 10 years.
10 years.
Time flies.
We've been friends for 10 years.
Time flies.
Family for 10 years.
That's right. That's
Yeah.
right. That's right. So, but like, how do you see the universe? Just by the fact that you have been around, like you spend like most of your life here in America, and you have seen many people of different nationalities. Like, does it have any perspective, any change of a perspective on your way of seeing the universe in general?
Most definitely. The especially now in the age of information, the the amount of information that you can get is just absolutely, it's so ridiculous. There's so much information that you can get, and it's taught me a lot of things. You know, I've gone through many stages of my life where I've thought one thing and switched to another because I learned something new, and you certainly some things when it's like an epiphany. You know what I mean? Sometimes you're clueless to something for ages, for a long time, and then you finally realize the way that things are, and it makes you go, wow, I never thought about the way the world is that way. So yeah, my worldview is definitely very complex, very complicated, I would say.
And I think it's a normal state to be, because if you have that, uh, not having that, what you describe right now as an epiphany, that means that maybe you are stuck. I'm sure you have witnessed a lot happening in America. Coming here at the early age and just growing up in the country and watching the news and seeing what is happening to the people. And we are in an era where there's a lot of agitations right now in regards of the set of America. And we're talking about the racial issue where like black people are protesting, asking for racial equality. And this has not been just America rising, but many countries, surprisingly, like the Western world, really has shaken lately. A lot of statues falling out. What is your point of view as someone who come from another country and like cannot locate himself 100% to the black community, but cannot locate himself 100% to the white American community? But like you are stuck in the middle because you have white descendants, as you have black descendants, and you are stuck in the middle. You cannot be identified with either until you have this conversation you have with us. So how do you see that situation?
That's kind of a funny thing because identification is one of those tricky subjects. And the thing is, as far as race is concerned, I'm in the opinion where I think that we're in America, our race is American. The race means people. We know we are the American race. We are the American people, and I think that's what's that's what people are kind of missing. You know what I mean? And we have a lot more in common than we do differences. And we really should we really should embrace that commonality, the stuff that we have in common to make ourselves a better nation, a better union.
Definitely.
And of course, change is difficult. It is. It's uncomfortable. It's hard, and sometimes it takes a while. This country's been going at it for for quite some time, and we're still rough around the edges, but it's certainly getting better. And of course, I'm married to a black woman. I have a little mixed black daughter, gorgeous, beautiful, sassy. Yeah, and she's my princess. She's my world. Along with my other kids. And as far as looking at people simply or judging someone or thinking of someone as less simply because they have a different pigmentation that you have, to me is so silly. It's so dumb. And like I said, the relationship that you and I have. I look at you and I can see that you're black. You can look at me, you can see that I'm light skinned. But that's not what I'm basing the relationship that I'm gonna have with you is gonna be. You know what I mean? The relationship that I have with you is because it's gonna be based on your character, your integrity.
Of course.
You know what I mean? And it's one of those complicated themes that really shouldn't be that complicated. It really shouldn't.
Of course, like the difference should create beauty. Ladies and gentlemen, it was your show, Sculpture Lab, presented to you by Jabel, with the host today, Abraham Herrera, from Honduras, but living here in America, and he was happy to have him around. He taught us a little bit about his culture. I'm sure he will come back because we have lots more topics to share, and stay tuned.